Do you want to turn your website visitors into clients that are pre-sold on your business? Well, that's exactly what I wanted to do. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I created a quiz that helps my website visitors not only find their perfect Dubsado services fit that I offer, but also builds connections and nurtures leads, all without feeling like an interrogation. So I've been wanting to do this for a while, and I've recently redid my website that showcases the different Dubsado services that I offer. And they range from full setups to micro setups to done with you options to DIY options. Like there's all different kinds depending on how much support and investment somebody really wants to make in their Dubsado to have me come along and build it. And I have information pages, sales pages for each of these offers, but sometimes it's hard to really self-identify what you need and read through all the copy, all the things. So I really wanted a fun way to show support in helping somebody figure out what exactly that they need. I like a quiz because it's a fun, interactive way to help somebody. And I could just use a contact form that says, what are you interested in? And it asks them, but they still have to self-select what they are interested in instead of having a fun way to figure it out. Quizzes are also a great way. You could do personality types. So if you're a copywriter, what's your brand voice? Or if you're a photographer for weddings and you offer packages based on length, you could help people, you could put a quiz together that's do you want to show yourself getting ready? Do you have lots of family? Do you have a big family? You can help coach them of how many hours of a package they might need based on all the different options that they want captured. Because while it's really common to us as those service providers to know what people need, and yeah, I could hop on a call with you, a free clarity call, get to know you, understand your business, and coach you in the right direction of a service that might work for you. If I feel like there's a group of people coming up that don't necessarily want to hop on the phone, and also I value my time. If I don't have to hop on a phone, that would also be really nice. So the quiz really does build connection while educating my clients and giving them an idea of what they might be interested in and what would serve them well. I'm using Interact for my quizzes. Interact is one of the OG quiz makers. It links directly to Flodesk, so I don't even have to use Zapier to connect the quiz results with Flodesk, which is amazing. And they're just super easy to use. You'll see how super easy it is to use. But before I even go into Interact, I really have to get an understanding of what I want my quiz to be. So I built a GBT to help me with my own quiz creation, and I have it for super cheap. You can buy it yourself if you want help creating your quiz. We first work on the outcomes. So the GBT will help you to figure out what it is that you want the goal of the quiz to be. Is it your services? Is it a personality thing? What are we looking to do for these leads, these inquiries to convert for you? And then once we know the end result of what is happening here at the end, then we're gonna figure out the actual specific outcome. So I like working from the back to the front, and the GBT will really help you do that work from the ending all the way to the beginning, because you can't start asking questions until you know where you're going to be with it. So I worked with my GBT. I figured out all of my end results for my different service types offerings. It even helped me craft some landing pages, which I'm going to tweak and make sure it's in my own voice tone, the way I'm going to write. I'm not going to just straight copy and paste it out of the AI, but I do think the AI is great for giving a starting point of what can it be. So I have my ending page results put together, and then I went ahead and used it to create all of my questions. And I had fun working with the AI agent to make sure that the AI chatbot, to make sure that the questions represented me, my business, my tone, that it made sense. I was confused on some of the questions it was proposing, and so we reworked them some. So just because it gives you an answer doesn't mean that's just what you have to do. Make sure it represents you and your business through and through. And then what it will give you in the end is an output of here are the questions. And then as you input the questions, we'll see it once we get into Interact, you tell it what result it's tied to. It's really easy to build it out, to put it all together. And then once the quiz is ready, then we need to make sure we nurture that lead inside of your email marketing. And so I love Flodesk. It's so easy to use. It's beautiful. It's great. So the fact that Interact will directly tie to Flodesk is amazing. So once my quiz is together, then I can make sure all the results are getting sent to Flodesk, and then they're getting nurtured in Flodesk, and my GBT chat bot agent thingy, whatever they're called, that I have down in the description. It will even help you write an email sequence to make sure you nurture those leads to convert into however it was that you got them to sign up for. If it was a personality quiz, maybe you are looking to nurture them in a specific way. Maybe you're a coach and you're looking to nurture them based on what they responded to. Maybe you're a service provider like me and you wanted people to know what would serve them best. So we want to nurture them a bit more to make sure they're cared for, that they know how you can support them. And if you have any offers or anything that you want to give them, that email sequence is ready to go. And then once all of that's ready, then we can plug it in on our website. I'm going to show you how I'm going to put it in on a top banner on my Showit site, and it'll be live and ready to go. And then you can test it on my site if it's still up while you're watching this. But I'd love for you to just be with me as we build this out together. And if you want my checklist and GBT, again, it's super cheap, that you can get it down in the description below. And let's go ahead and jump into my computer. All right, so I'm gonna start with my actual quiz system, which is what I have for sale down below. And it has my GBT assistant here, which is my quiz builder, plus some images for our quiz that we'll have to put together, and some email templates for you, an analytics dashboard, a link to try Interact, and then a link to try Flodesk as well. Because these are all the different pieces that we're gonna use to put it together. Plus I'm gonna stick it on my Showit site. So let's go ahead and look at, I already put her together. So I used my GBT to completely build out my quiz, and I have it now just in a Google Doc for me to be able to quickly copy and paste out of. And it built out my intro page, all the questions I'm going to ask, plus where it's going to go to, and then the results page, all the results that are going to be the end score. And then I also had it help me draft some emails, which I didn't copy and paste over. That's okay. Let's go ahead and log into Interact. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new quiz, and I'm just going to start from scratch for now. And these are your different options. You have a scored one, which will actually based on your score give you the result. The assessment is yes or no's, did you get it right or wrong? And then personality is the option where every answer leads to a different result thing. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do right away is change my colors to make it more on brand. Let me go ahead and grab my quiz images. I'm going to grab my red color. Actually, no, I'm going to do my beige color. And grab your hex code. Love it. And then the selection, I'll make the same. There, that's fine. And I'll actually make my background my off-white color, y'all. Cool. And then the text you can also change. And I believe I have there is a, let's see. I'm just gonna do a Google font that I don't hate, that I think will look okay on my website. Okay, so then what happens is we have our cover, the questions, the results, the lead generation, which is gonna tie to our Flodesk, and some additional informations here. So let's do our cover real quick. And I'm gonna go ahead and grab my cover image here. I'm going to grab, let's see, I just have some stock photos. It's fine for now, and make sure this is in my brand. And okay, so then I'm going to use this copy here and change my wording. So I'm going to use this wording for this image. Change my colors. I believe, yes, and I can change my wording on my button. Perfect. Maybe we'll call it I don't know. I may come back to that and change the name. But for now, that works. I'm going to flip over to results next because I want to make sure that my questions are going to be ready to map to them. So I've got I think I have 6 results that I want to be able to pull in. So let me go ahead and put these side by side. All right. And you're able to here have these actually be a redirect based on their result. But I think I want to have it stay this page here and have it be book your build there. And this is a little bit longer than that, depending on it. Okay, so then I have here my Systems Express image. So I'm going to come over to my option here. And don't mind my wording. And make sure it's all on brand for me. Create the image. And I'll probably maybe just go ahead and create images for all of them. And I have, let me grab my Systems Express, and then I'll go ahead and duplicate this page. And my next option is this and setup, which is my micro build. I want this to be capitalized. Setup. I've got custom playbook. And make sure that my photos are what I want to be using. Do that one. Custom does auto pre-built. Does auto playbook. Just similar to the custom, but it's all done, ready to go. And I have a workflow dashboard. My cohort for like group build and support. Let's see if I have a good photo for it. Cool. All right, so now I get to download. I'm just gonna download everything. I have all my results ready to go. And then I'm going to make sure this opens. Y'all. Upload. And they're already sized properly, the images. Amazing. Okay, awesome. First one done, and I'm gonna repeat that process for my other 6 options. All right, perfect. So all of my landing pages are done. I don't have my URLs set up right, but I will end up linking them to either the sales page, the checkout page, like exactly where I want them to go for their next step. And so now these are all done. So now I can come up to my questions. And here you have options with your different questions. You can use image answers. So if you're very specific, like what's your style? And you can have the different options. And I do have in my image templates, this option 1, this is the size for the questions to be answered. Perfect, but I just wanna use text answers because that's how I'm gonna have it built out. So here are my questions and I have them all ready to go. So I'm gonna go just copy and paste here. I'm gonna plug them in and then I'm gonna go through and make sure I have it going to the correct ending result. Cool. So then adjust the answers to the results. So just starting out is going to go to the blank canvas or the Smart Starter here. Okay. And then my getting booked is either going to be the Studio Co-Builder or the Smart Starter. Oh, Smart Starter. Make sure I have these done right. Okay, cool. Where is it? Growing fast is going to be my full build. Running steady is the co-builder or the DIYer. Refining and scaling is the full or the strategic DIYer. Okay, cool. So let me just make sure I don't have a self-starter in here yet for this first one. Oh, the blank canvas. Here. And I could also maybe do that one for it because it would actually work out. Okay, cool. So save. So those are all the right answers. So now I'm going to add a new question and go on to my next one. And then I'll just completely go for this. And you can have also a question image, like master image with the question if you wanted it. And it would be the same size as the results page option. So if you did want to use the image here, you would just use that. But I don't want to use the images here. So, all right, so I'm just gonna play this super fast while you watch me plug all of these in. All right, so I'm gonna change my colors now because it is not that I like them to be seen. So this selection, I want it to be a different color. Let's go. Okay, so if I look at it, great. But that blue is still coming through. That's really annoying. Great, okay, cool. That is more on brand for me. All the options, 8 questions, lovely. And then the results. All right, so now that I have everything plugged in and tied together, I'm going to go into my Flodesk and make sure all of my segments are ready to go. Okay, so in my segments, I'm gonna create a new segment and I'm going to name it Dubsado Quiz. I'm gonna make 6 of them. I'm gonna make one for each of my outcomes. So this is gonna be the Dubsado Quiz Systems Express, save, Dubsado Quiz, zip and mess that up. So these are all of my different options that I have for it. Custom playbook, build playbook, my DIY, the last one is Setup Studio. Cool. All right, so those are all tied. So then I'm going to use my Interact and turn on lead generation. And I'm gonna get their first name and their email address. I do not want them to be able to skip the opt-in form. Privacy policy is on my website, so I think that's okay. I'm working with people in the United States, so my GDPR doesn't need to be on. And all right, I'm gonna ask my GPT to make that page on brand. Cool. All right, so they know that they'll get their performance result and then get added to my weekly newsletter list. All right, save and continue. We're gonna add Flodesk as our integration. Amazing. And then this is all of our different options, right? So here's my different segments. I'm gonna add them for the full pro, it's my Systems Express. And then I don't need to update a custom field because I'm not asking anything else. It's just going to add them into here. So save and continue. All right, results. We add all of these and set up, save, custom playbook, save, pre-built playbook, save, DIY dashboard, and the studio. Save and continue. And then these are, if you have any actions specific to questions that they have, you can actually add them specifically to segments inside of their questions. But I personally don't want to have any of the answers that they give go into the segment. Like I just want it based on results. I do not need them to double opt-in, save and continue, but the email and first name, it's great. Save and continue. Let's go ahead and test the integration. Let's see, full flow Systems Express. And then, so now I should have in my full flow Systems Express 1 subscriber. Perfect. Okay, awesome. So now I am fully up and ready for my Flodesk integration is all there. And then what will need to happen is under workflows, I'm gonna do a new workflow. I'm just gonna start from scratch. And we're gonna call this Dubsado Quiz Systems Express. So then it's gonna be when they're added to this segment for the Systems Express, then I want to send them a specific email. So here we're just going to, I'll use one of my favorites. Here's this one. And like, I'll obviously adjust this email and build it out, but we'll send them an email here. And then you have the option to continue to nurture them as well. So I would definitely have a delay step inside of Flodesk and then send them another email. You might also want to segment. So if they actually buy this option, that they no longer get the nurture sequence for it. So be sure to remove them once they're in and once they've purchased the option to really know who your audience is. But for now, I'm just gonna leave that here because I'm gonna have to go through and get a workflow going for each of my 6 outcomes to make sure they're getting the different ones. And then I do not want social sharing turned on. This social share is really cool if you're doing a fun personality test and it's like, I'm a whatever, what are you? And people want to share that. I don't think anyone's gonna want to share my what Dubsado service is gonna serve you best. Like that seems weird. So I'm not going to have my social shares on. This social share image is the image that pops up when you drop a link on like Facebook or something, and then it previews it. So this is going to just pull the cover image, which most likely works, but if you want to do a social share, you can add it. I'll add it to my template for us so you can have the exact right size. And then this is the CTA above the buttons, and then what I got, the answers there. So just follow those options. And then conversion tracking, you can link your Facebook pixel, your Google Analytics to it so you can actually see where people are dropping off, or if they got a certain result, you can retarget them in your ads, which is really, really nice as well. I'm not gonna do that for now. That's kind of like quiz making 3.0. I'm just happy to have this. So now when I go to publish this quiz, I'm going to publish my changes. All right, and then once you publish it, you have a few different options. Here, this is fun. This is a actual announcement bar that you can plug in and it'll be there. I personally don't want to use their announcement bar. I want to put it specifically for myself. And I don't want it to be a pop-up. I want my own page where this is embedded. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to grab an iframe for Showit. I'm just gonna copy this code. I'm gonna come to Showit. I'm gonna add a blank page here, and I'm gonna name it my Dubsado quiz. Save. All right, and then this canvas, I'm going to drop my embed code. Save. Make sure that this is large and in charge. I'm gonna make sure my canvas grows with content on both mobile and desktop. I'm gonna change my background to match the same color. Cool. Let's preview it. Awesome. And so now it's embedded in here and it will allow you to answer the questions. Cool. Amazing. Okay, so that's exactly what I wanted to do. I don't know why this isn't centered though. I'm going to use the center/center to make sure it is actually centered on the screen. There it goes. Okay, so now I have this page ready to go for the Dubsado quiz, and now I need to adjust a banner. I'm going to do a page, add a blank canvas here. I'm gonna make you tiny. Right, and then I'm gonna make it a little bit more on brand for myself here. I'm gonna grab the wording off of here. Perfect, and I need this to be much smaller. Awesome. Okay, so I want this box, then my click actions to open up the page I just created of the Dubsado quiz. Perfect. I'm gonna call it my quiz banner. Save. And then I'm going to convert it to a site canvas. And now I can go to my main site and edit this and add my quiz banner to the top of the menu, I believe. Yep. Awesome. So now this is going to be on every single page on my site. And that is way too big for desktop. So let's adjust this guy and make it centered. Preview. Oh, perfect. That's a lot better. So now when they click on it, it'll take them to their support fit quiz, and they can take the quiz right there on the website. And then when they get to their final option, it will prompt them to give their information before their perfect match is sent over. But yeah, that is lovely. I'm so excited. Okay, perfect. I'm not going to publish that just yet because my quiz isn't fully ready with all of my end screen results. But yeah, that is everything that I'm going to do. I'm just going to remove for right now. It's there for me as soon as I'm ready to go live. And my site is ready as well. So that is getting my quiz ready to go, but that's it. Now it's embedded. So I'm ready to share it as soon as my final touches are plugged in. Super exciting. Well, I hope you found that super helpful and are able to follow it step by step. Again, if you want my checklist that I use to put this together, you can grab it in the description below. If you need more support inside of your Interact and putting this together, I have a membership. It's called the Smarter Creative Society, where you can ask questions and get direct one-on-one support from me for a super low monthly rate. And if you do that, the GBT and my checklist are actually in the society membership, so you don't even have to buy it separately. You can just join us in the membership, ask your questions, and engage with us there. And I would love to share the checklist and GBT with you inside the society. If there's anything that you want to see next when it comes to running your service-based business and how to make it all happen, I'd love to answer those questions for you. My name's Lauren. I run the Smarter Creative, and I just want to empower you to be able to run the tech side of things, run the things that you never were trained for, but that I know you can make happen, and to be your cheerleader along the way. So I will see you guys next time.